So I think I found one of the most weirdest and ethereal custom zombies maps of all time. Custom zombie. Being able to create your own maps and upload them, people can download them and share them with the community, and everybody can play with each other on them. This all started back in 2008 with World at War on PC, when Treyarch publicly released mod tools for people to create maps with. Some classic maps have been created out of this, like Leviathan and Cheese Cube, which were and still are amazing. These mod tools would then go on to be released for Black Ops 3 in 2016, and people's creations were able to be uploaded to the Steam Workshop for easy access, because before, you had to either search the map on either zombie modding or UGX, where you either run an exe or drag the files in the mod folder. Black Ops 3 would also go on to have some really great maps like Rust, Dome, Rust and Dome.
We should take Rust and push it to Dome.
And Leviathan, as well as many other maps from World at War would end up being remastered, like Super Mario 64 and Cheese Cube. And along with Leviathan, I thought this to be one of the better remasters.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
And many other variations. But with all these great maps, there are always weird ones. Take for example Purple Dimension from World at War, where everything is purple and there's a lot of randomness to it, like this Covenant dropship. Or how about the Epilepsy Room? But that fire sale music. Black Ops 2 would also go on to have weird and low effort maps like this one. Okay, we all caught up on the history lesson? Great, let's get into it. So now we get to Agartha's Salvation, a map that I discovered way back in 2019 when I was browsing the workshop and stumbled onto it randomly. And so far, it is one of the strangest maps I've ever played. The map was made by Zendaya and was created back in February of 2017. To give you some perspective of how long ago that was, this was before Chronicles came out, which would also make this one of the first custom zombies maps, let alone one to have an Easter egg. The description reads, "Where does Agartha lie? Is it a city in the center of the earth, or just a lost temple somewhere in the desert? A group of researchers traveled to an old mountain, but they never came back. Travel there and discover the mystic ruins of the old ancient ritual site. Discover what the Agarthians hid from the world and destroy its power." So if I were to describe this map in one sentence, I would describe it as, it's like if the frozen forest and Origins had a baby. I say this because the map takes models and aesthetics from both of them and just mixes it together. And what I also find interesting is that this map's ambience is similar to Halo 2's High Charity. Here, take a listen. So the map layout consists of 3 main areas and several sub-areas. The first area has Cooker Vibe, which is also Respawn, PhD Flopper, a mystery box location, and a barrier, which I will get into more later. The second area, which contains Speed Cola, the mystery box, Tombstone twice for some reason, a portal to the Vril Hall, and Pack-a-Punch, which is locked behind a barrier. And the last area has Juggernog and the teleporter. The teleporter takes you to the different sub-areas, but before you can access that, you need to get the 3 teleportation stones. These stones are scattered randomly across the first and second sections of the map, but what I also just realized is that they're actually just the stones from Origins, but blue. Also, for some reason, they're listed as cards when you pick them up. Weird. Once you have obtained the 3 stones, you can then travel to the other 3 sub-areas. Those areas being the Crafting Hall, ironic since there is not a single buildable on this map, has Stamina, the Mysterious Cave, which has the Power and Deadshot Daiquiri, and the Mountain Temple, which has Mule Kick, Widow's Wine, and 2 portals. The one on the right leads back to Spawn, and the one on the left leads to another sub-area containing Double Tap. You will also notice these orange hexagons, which are actually just orange 115 deposits from Origins. These are actually wall buys, which are scattered across most of the areas throughout the map. You will also likely notice these dig spots that you can find just like on Origins and Wanted, but unlike those two maps, you don't need a shovel to dig them. Just like the wall buys and the dig spots, you'll also notice these runes. You can find these runes all throughout the map, and they give vague background information and lore. What these runes are about can be divided into 4 different categories, which are Agarthan history, salvation, technology, and will. Since there's 16 from what I can find, and I probably even missed a few, I'll just read out one from each category. Agarthan History 1. It was built to protect us, but it caused our destruction. Technology 1. It was concentrated beams of infinite energy and dark matter to create antimatter. Salvation 1. The ancient forces will vanish in a combination of darkness, light, and energy. And finally, Will 1. If you look for power, you will never understand how important knowledge is. Personally, I'd recommend at least looking at these for a bit, because I think they're a little interesting, even if they are vague. So there's one sub-area that I've not gone in depth into, and that is the Vril Hall. As mentioned previously, it is located in the second area in between Speed Cola and the Pack-a-Punch. To enter it, you're going to need 500 points, and upon activation you'll need to wait 15 seconds, and all players in the map will be teleported to it. And upon entering, you will be greeted with this. That's got me floating more than a Blade song. So does that sound familiar at all? Because it should. That song is called Ego Vivo, and it's actually from the Shadows of Evil boss fight.
There it is! There it is!
As well as the campaign too.
You're not yourself, Hendrix.
There it is!
What a...
In the Vril Hall, you'll need to fill up this portal thing with 75 zombie souls, and once you've done that, you'll be teleported back to spawn and will gain an extra perk slot. This is the only way to get more than 4 perks, but you can do this as many times as you want, but every time you do this, you have to kill 75 more zombies every time. So if it's your second time doing this, then you'll need to kill 150 zombies. So when you do this, just be sure to be stocked up because there are no wall buys in the room. Oh yeah, make sure your perks are good too. So I wanted to devote a segment to just the weapons on this map because they are something else. It mostly consists of COD World War II and Infinite Warfare weapons, along with some interesting custom ones. So in total, Agartha has 65 weapons. It has 33 from World War II, 11 from Infinite Warfare, 3 from Modern Warfare Remastered, 2 from Ghosts, 1 from Advanced Warfare, 6 from Black Ops, 2 from Black Ops 2, 1 from Black Ops 3, and the Ray Gun. The other 5 weapons are exclusive to this map. In fact, every single wall buy on this map is a gun from World War II. Now it's time to talk about the custom weapons, which are also the interesting ones and exclusive ones. Let's start with the A rifle. What's special about this gun is that it regenerates ammo, kinda like the R70 Ajax from multiplayer. What's also cool about it is that when you pack-a-punch it, it goes from a 3-round burst to a 5-round burst. Also, the map has a unique pack-a-punch camo, which I think is pretty cool. Interestingly though, the name does not change after you pack it, it's still the same. Next up is the Doom Cannon, which if you look closely at it, is actually the arm cannon from the Mangler shown in Garage Crovey and Cold War. It's fully automatic, has a cool reloading animation, and when you pack-a-punch it, it's called the Apocalypse Cannon. So now we get to the Dirts. There's the Dirt 115 and the Dirt 935. The 935 is an automatic shotgun that has a lot of ammo and is very powerful, and it also sounds like this. If you think that's loud, you should see how it is pack-a-punched. So its pack-a-punch name is Magister Zaustabab Dest... hang on one second.
Magischer Zauberstab des Uva-Kaladu-Fackel.
Yeah, that. So now have a listen to how it sounds pack-a-punched. And then there's the 115, which much like the 935 is fully automatic except it's in the form of a pistol. Oh, if you think that's allowed, you should hear how it is pack-a-punched. And to make things better, it's called the 115 Muddy Bloody Gamer's Paradise The Blue Fluffy's Dream. One thing I've noticed about these two is that when you pack them, they both carry the same amount of ammo in reserve and the clip. But when you reload, it goes back to 1023, and I think this is because the game cannot show more than 1023 bullets in reserve. So it looks like it's regenerating reserve ammo, but it actually isn't, so don't get too carried away with it. Now there is one more that I have not mentioned, but I'll get to that in the Easter egg section coming up right about... It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. The Easter egg. The Easter egg is able to be started when you get to round 5 when you arrive at the excavator terminal. The first step requires that you pay 2,000 points and it involves filling up soul chests. The first one is right next to PhD, the second is at the end of the crafting hall next to stamina, the third is right when you enter the mountain temple, and the fourth and the last one is in the temple sub area where double tap is. After this you will need to pay a pack-a-punch worth of points to access the next part of the Easter egg. In this step you'll need to activate the orbs on the energy holders which rotate around where PhD is, next to Widow's Wine in the temple, across from Double Tap in the temple sub area, and right in front when you enter the mysterious cave. These will teleport randomly to each other when activated, so keep doing this until the prompt says you're done. Completing this step also removes the barrier to pack-a-punch. Next you'll need to go back to the terminal to boot up the ultimate weapon, but before you do that I recommend that you do the real hall soul transfer 3 times before you activate it. Not only will you get points for doing this, but you're also going to need to do it later for an upgrade for a certain weapon. So once you've done that 3 times, you'll need 10,000 points to activate the next step to the Easter egg. You will get a notice telling you to get to the mysterious cave immediately because a giant purple missile will shoot from the sky and kill anybody who is not in it. After you wait around for a little bit, you'll be teleported to this little tiny location and just kind of stare at this thing for a bit. You'll then get teleported back, and at this point what you're going to want to do is go to the mountain temple, and right where the 2 portals were in front of them reveals a hidden area. Oh, I also want to point out how there's a message saying that you cannot do this Easter egg as 1 player. That's not true. You can do it as 1 player. Just know that. Inside you'll find the electric cherry as well as the wonder weapon of the map, the World Destroyer, which works the same way the staffs do on Origins. But unlike ice, fire, wind, and lightning, it has a massive explosion but also no sound, which is a nice contrast to the dirts that I quite like. The barrier next to the MPD terminal is now removed, which is the same one I mentioned a few chapters ago. This only opens once you've acquired the ultimate weapon and done 3 soul transfers inside of it. Inside, you will find Vulturate and a giant podium which will allow you to upgrade the World Destroyer to the World Protector, and it costs 10,000 points. You're also going to need this later. The upgrade makes it orange, do more damage, have a bigger radius, and have a lot of ammo. Now hopefully at this point you're strapped with guns, perks, and the World Protector because it's required, and especially money because it's time to enter the boss fight. And you're going to need to pay what? After you've paid the average American salary, you'll then be sent in this platform where you have to wait for this arena to slowly build up while dramatic text appears on the screen. The text reads, "The world will soon be no more." Which is exactly how I feel about having to wait an eternity. I wish I was kidding when I said this, but you have to wait 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's longer than the load times in Sonic 06. While this happens, I recommend doing something else and then coming back later. After waiting forever, you'll then be sent to this platform where you'll need to kill this orb drone thing. The text calls it a drone, but it looks more like an orb. So at this point, you have 2 more steps left. You will then be teleported back to spawn. The first thing you'll need to do is activate the energy holders again, except for this time, they're orange and evil. I have no idea. Once you do that, you'll be teleported back to the small circular platform again, but in this time, you'll have to wait 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Except this time you actually have to put in effort and try because zombies will spawn indefinitely until you can insert your staff into the podium, which leads to this. Yep, the Easter egg at the end kills you. 11 out of 10, best custom map ever. Okay, in all seriousness, I think that this map is actually pretty cool and fun, especially considering that it's actually one of the first custom maps for Black Ops 3 to have an Easter egg in it. And I recommend that you play it if you're at all curious about it, and I'll leave a link in the description if you want to go check it out. Also, Zendaya, if you're watching this, I hope you find it and make more maps, because I thought this one was really good. Hey, thanks for watching all the way till the end of the video. This took forever to make, actually about a month as of right now. I'll also leave links to my Steam and Discord and the like if you want to add me and play with me on there. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, why not consider subscribing, which would really help me out. I want to give a shout out to 2 YouTubers that inspired me to make this. The Exceptional Gamer because of a video about perk drinking, and Sixtoon because his videos are very funny and also really inspired me to make this. I'll also leave links to the music in the video if you want to listen to any of them. And I plan to get more videos out soon, but college will likely have started by the time you see this, so I don't know when I'll have time to make them. But what I do want to get to at some point is a video about custom voice Skyrim follower mods. Now a bit ago, I uploaded a video about how to get 60 FPS in Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, and considering how many people liked that video, I figured why not go forward with this more. I mean, I enjoy making them and people will likely enjoy what I had to make, so why not just keep making more? So currently I'm using the Shure SM58 microphone, and I would like to know how all of you think it sounds. I think it sounds pretty good, but I'm also considering getting a HyperX Quadcast S because I heard that that sounds very good, and I also plan to use all the polar patterns because I might also record with other people too. Also, sorry if the mixing and all that is a bit off. It's my first time really doing this, so I'll do the best I can to fix it next time. And lastly, I want to thank my cousins for helping me get this footage, which is what you're seeing right now. And with all that being said, I'm really anxious to see where this channel goes, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching.